For topic 4, we're going to look at circles, and I do want to make a hopefully not terribly hard distinction to understand. Okay, when you're dealing with a circle is a plane figure. It is not a polygon. So a circle is a plane figure, not a polygon. So when we're talking about polygons, polygons are specifically made up of line segments that meet at endpoints. When you're dealing with a circle, there aren't different sides. So you can't say there's like 4 sides to a circle or 10 sides to a circle. There are infinitely many sides to a circle if you want to get technical. So we can consider a circle a plane figure. It's flat, it lives on a plane, okay, but it is not a polygon, okay? So a circle is a plane figure that consists of all points that are the same fixed distance from a point C called the center. Okay, so you have a center, and then you can go a very specific distance in any direction away from that center, and then connect all those points and you get a circle. Okay, now the radius of a circle is the distance from the circle's center to the edge of the circle, to any point on the edge. So if you go from the center of the circle to any point along the edge of the circle, you've got the radius, okay? So we have a circle, we have a radius, and then finally the diameter of a circle is the distance across the circle through its center, okay? So we need to understand at minimum the definition of a circle. We know what it looks like, but you need to really understand the definition, and you need to understand where the center is, what the radius is, and what the diameter is, okay? So we're talking about the center of the circle is this point right here that's right slam jam in the middle, okay? From the center to the edge of the circle, and you could go in any direction from the center, any direction. And if you draw a line to the edge of the circle, it's going to be the same distance, which is the radius. And then the distance across the circle through the center, that's the diameter, okay? And there is a connection between the diameter and the radius that's really, really important to understand. The radius is basically half the distance across the circle. It's from the center to the edge of the circle, okay? Well, if you extend the radius in one direction and then go back and extend it exactly in the opposite direction, so you would get the radius plus the radius, that equals the diameter. So the radius is basically half the diameter, and the diameter is 2 times the radius. All right, and I think I have that written out a little bit better here. So the diameter is twice the distance of the radius is half the distance of the diameter, and you must understand that. That's kind of the heart and soul of a circle, okay? So example 5, it says, answer the questions about each circle below. So for part A, it says, find the radius of the circle. Well, you can see here that we're given the diameter. So we're told that the diameter is 16 inches. Well, we know that the diameter is twice the radius. We know that the radius is half the diameter. So if I take the diameter and divide it by 2, I would get 16 divided by 2, or 8 inches. So we would say here that the radius of this circle is 8 inches. Okay. Now for part B, it says find the diameter of the circle. You can see that we have been given the radius. So we are told here that the radius is 21 centimeters. We know, I'm just going to use D for diameter. We know that the diameter is 2 times the radius. I'm going to use R for the radius. So the diameter is going to be 2 times 21, or 42 centimeters. All right. So you must understand the relationship between diameter and radius. Okay. We're not going to go like super deep into circles, but at the end of this course, I want you to understand the radius and the diameter, and then eventually how to find what we call the circumference, which is the distance around a circle, and then the area of the circle. But for now, this is all we need to know. So make sure you understand the definition of a circle, understand where its center is, understand the radius, the diameter, and the connection between the radius and the diameter.